All right, you really cannot make this up. I want to show you all the exact moment that MSNBC host Ali Velshi is just shocked, blown away by Donald Trump's full display of cognitive decline. We've seen this happening over the past few years, but after Trump's gotten in office, there's been an acceleration of ranting, rambling, and incoherent, long, drawn-out trains of thought, and that's what we saw today when he was sitting there in Turnberry, Scotland, talking about windmills for 20 minutes straight, spewing straight lies about windmills. So I want to show you the reaction of the people in the room, of MSNBC host Ali Velshi, and I'm not going to play the entire presser from Trump. I don't even want to play most of it, but if you want a little bit of a taste, here's Trump just ranting about windmills, telling complete lie after lie after lie. For example, he said that windmills are really bothering the sharks. They're loud for the sharks. There's never been any sort of evidence of this anywhere, ever. Trump just made this up entirely. He then says windmills have to be replaced every 8 or 9 years, and it's terrible. It actually takes 30 years. Windmills have a lifespan of 30 years, and replacing them is environmentally friendly and not hard at all. So he's just lying. Here's an example.
The whole thing is a con job. It's very expensive, and in all fairness, Germany tried it, and wind doesn't work. You need subsidy for wind, and energy should not need subsidy. With energy, you make money. You don't lose money. But more important than that is it ruins the landscape. It kills the birds. They're noisy. You have a certain place and
just really coherent. He went on for 20 minutes about this. If you think that windmills are bad for the environment, let me introduce you to oil or any other form of non-renewable energies. Windmills are actually sustainable, but I digress. That is a different video. Let's watch Ali Velshi from MSNBC react in real time. This is his basically live reaction to the presser, and he goes, "What did I just possibly watch?" After this, we'll break down some of the polling data and how things are looking heading into the midterm so we're all on the same page. But I thought that this deserved a quick watch together.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Wow. I'm not going to say any more words until my executive producer puts on the banner next to me. That was bat poop crazy. Just not gonna. That was crazy. I took lots of notes. This is in no particular order. Windmills are killing us. 7 million people died in Rwanda, but I ended that. The Rwanda genocide ended in 1994. Energy needs no subsidy. America subsidizes energy to a great degree. Windmills are windmills are killing us. They're the most expensive form of energy. He's going to have a deal with the EU in an hour. He's not in a good mood. He said that. He said there's not going to be a deal really with the EU. He said very specifically, he said, mostly I'm just going to charge tariffs. It's not really a deal per se. People are just going to pay tariffs. He went on for a little while about a ballroom. And how they don't have a nice ballroom in the White House because they've never had a developer in charge of the White House. But now he just built a beautiful ballroom and he could just drop it into the White House, and that's going to be fantastic. Wow. We've got a lot of steel and aluminum plants being built in the United States. We've got a lot of automotive plants being built in the United States. I can't even read my own writing. Asked about people starving in Gaza. He seems very upset that no one has thanked him for the food that they provided. He said that Iran is being very nasty with its mouth. He did say he gave two pieces of news. He said that the United States is going to do more for Gaza. And that he talked to Benjamin Netanyahu. Those are the only two pieces of news that I was able to glean from that whole thing. He also said we have a lot of con jobs going on, which I think might be a piece of truth as well. But
I mean, there's more to this segment, but our president is rapidly declining in front of our eyes. We are watching it. And somebody who was already prone to conspiracies and ranting and rambling is now ranting and rambling times 10. We're all watching it. Any clip I play from the presser today while he was representing us in another country is increasingly embarrassing. We're going to finish that MSNBC segment, but I mean, I can go to any random clip. This is him being asked about Epstein.
Mr. President, was part of the rush to get this deal done to knock the Jeffrey Epstein story out?
Oh, you got to be kidding with that. No, had nothing to do with it. Only you would think that. That had nothing to do with it.
He has nothing to do with it, but he's also in a top-down way directing his DOJ to release the files. He said a bunch of contradictory things. He said a few weeks ago he has nothing to do with the files being covered up or released. Then he was like, I'm telling everyone to release the files. It is now at my direction. Just disgusting. This brings me over to this clip from CNN of Trump's current polling numbers. He's got a huge problem with independence, and I'm starting to guess that this cognitive decline that we will return to isn't going to help his sinking polling numbers. Watch this very quickly.
By for the president to depart the White House, one would think he will face questions about all the Jeffrey Epstein developments. They have cast a shadow a bit the last few weeks over the administration. But this morning, the president kind of faces a different problem among a key voting group. CNN's chief data analyst, Harry Enten, is with us this morning. What group are we talking about, Harry?
We are talking about independence, Mr. Berman. And I will say this is the biggest warning sign, the biggest danger sign for President Trump in his second term so far. Why is that? Because it does not appear that there is a bottom to which Donald's support can't fall to. What are we talking about? Trump's net approval rating with independents. You know, there was all this hubbub about Gallup that came out this past week. You see, back in January, it was minus 2 points. Now it's minus 35 points. But what's important here is Gallup is largely matching the average. Back in January, in the average, Trump's net approval rating with independents was minus 3. Look at where it's fallen to now, minus 29 points. That is a drop of over 25 points with the key part of the electorate. If you're not winning among independents, you're probably not winning overall. And when your net approval rating's minus 29 points, you're definitely not winning overall.
And can I just say a few things? At the same time that the Epstein scandal is roaring through the United States and Trump is losing not even all of his MAGA supporters, not even most of his MAGA supporters. Most people don't care, but what this is doing is weakening the dogmatism of some of Trump's supporters. So a lot of his most dogmatic supporters will never, ever disagree with him or push back or be skeptical or second guess him. But now I've seen a lot of Trump supporters that I knew from high school or people that I used to work with, or all of these people come out and they post on their Facebook and they say, this is a little bit weird. Why is he acting so odd? I'm sure you guys have seen it too. We've seen it with Joe Rogan and all these MAGA comedians. You guys may have seen it among coworkers or old friends that are MAGA. It happens. People become less dogmatic and they begin to realize, maybe this dude does lie like other politicians. Now we need to help them realize he lies a unique amount. And that creates for a bad recipe when Donald Trump is losing the support of some of his most dogmatic followers. At the same time, his approval rating among independents is dropping by 30 points. Oh, Lord have mercy. And we haven't even hit the Q4 tariffs. In Q4, the tariffs are going to really begin to manifest. We're only at the beginning of Q3 right now. Trump began to place them in Q2. Liberation Day was in April. And it takes a few months for these ships to go from port to port across the country and to then be on the shelves. But prices will raise, approval ratings will drop, and we'll be covering it every step of the way. By the way, make sure you're subscribed to the Adam Mockler feed below. This reads, "You've earned my sub, Adam. Keep telling the truth." If you appreciate our coverage of breaking news events, make sure you scroll down and hit that subscribe button. It's free. Today, I just want to boost a few segments that I've seen that I really think deserve some attention. Back to Ali.
But I don't know what he was actually referring to. This one. I mean, I was watching your faces. You guys were up on camera the whole time, not on screen, because I just needed to know whether your expressions were the same as mine. That was something. Jennifer Rubin. Did we change they put the bat poop crazy thing? Because I'm not lying. Like, that's journalistically accurate.
It's unfortunate that in those kind of scrums, he's not challenged in the room, because
yes,
what
that
he's
is
saying
actually
is
right. He was not challenged by anybody.
Take Gaza. We're not the only ones sending aid to Gaza. The EU is sending aid to Gaza. The UAE is sending aid to Gaza. The notion that we were a dead country a year ago, and that all Democrats wanted to talk about was conspiracy theories. This is called projection, guys. On and on. Europe is banning solar energy. Wind energy.
Oh, yeah, the windmill.
About 40% of European energy is wind. It goes on and on.
The windmill thing was fascinating. It's like a windmill gave him a wedgie as a kid or something. Like I've never seen this sort of disdain for anything, actually, let alone windmills. This was rambly to the degree that if anybody, including Joe Biden, anybody held a press conference like this anywhere in the world, they'd be under pressure to resign within an hour because there's a cognitive issue going on. He answered every question with some rambly answer about something else. Rwanda ended in 1994. I just want to be clear with people. He had anything to do with Rwanda. He actually literally said there were 7 million people dead. Not true. There are 800,000 officially, estimates of up to 2 million. Machetes all over the place. He talked about it with great detail. Machetes all over the place. That ended in 1994, Tim.
Just an embarrassment to the United States to have the president on a global stage and not be able to string together coherent thoughts on a series of fundamental issues that are important to the world, they're important to the United States, and they're important to citizens everywhere. First and foremost for me was how this press conference began, which was questions about Gaza. There is a humanitarian crisis in Gaza. There is starvation in Gaza. He was asked about Israel's disposition toward all of that, and his answer was, we don't get thanked enough for the humanitarian aid we provide Gaza. He completely dodged.
It is absolutely bizarre. Brings me back to the CNN segment.
When you're that low with independence.
It's just the size of the drop. It's staggering.
It's huge.
Okay, so how does this compare historically?
Yeah, we were talking about Trump's overall approval rating, that it was the second worst overall. But we look among independents, it is the worst on record at this point. My goodness gracious, worst net approval ratings ever 6 months in among independents. Last time around, Trump broke the all-time record at minus 23 points. He is even lower than that now at minus 29 points. He has broken his own record for the worst on record. As I said at the beginning, there appears to be no fall, and Trump is certainly falling through that floor.
And can I just point out, we're going to keep the pressure on. Part of the reason is because of channels like this and people like you, the ability to boost the message that wouldn't be boosted in the first term. We are going to continue to push back and be that resistance and apply pressure where pressure needs to be applied. Because as they were saying in the MSNBC hit that I just played, nobody pushes back on Trump when they're in these rooms. Trump will say 70 different lies back to back to back and just carpet bomb the information landscape with lies as the president of the United States. This is no longer some random washed up reality TV celebrity tweeting about how Obama wasn't born in America. Obviously that was disgusting in and of itself, but it's kind of a different game when he's representing us on the world stage and sitting in that seat in Scotland and just ranting and rambling about conspiracy theories while blaming Democrats for spreading conspiracy theories. It's incredibly disgusting. We'll continue to cover this on a day-to-day basis. If you appreciate these videos that we make, all that I ask is that you subscribe to the Adam Mockler feed. We're going for 1.5 million by the end of the year, and you can be a part of the movement. So I'll see you all in the next one, and peace out.